What's going on, Capricorn? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Oh, actually, Cap, hold on. Sidebar, I got this cool hourglass here. It's for a separate side project, but I haven't started that thing yet, so right now it's just here. So you and Libra got a little behind the scenes, so don't you feel lucky. Welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling so blessed with the behind the scenes. There's Capricorn. I'm ears ringing, so I'm gonna take that as a yes, sir, Capricorn, or as a sign to keep it moving. For those of you who are returning. Welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support is just the greatest, Cap. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Harry has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey, Cap. And let me tell you why, Capricorn, because it is Celestial News Monthly. I mean, how could you not be pumped? It's literally the best time of the month there, Capricorn. I know you've been waiting all month, like, come on. I get it, Cap, I'm here. But when the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are and how we can work with the energies. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said there, Cap, let's jump into it. I'm actually kind of excited for your reading there, Capricorn. Not that I'm not excited anyway, but this one felt pretty cool. With Capricorn, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy around here, Cap. Now, I have Zodiac Oracle cards here with the signs that the sun and the planets are in, and we even get a little bit of lunar shenanigans this month, or this season there, Capricorn. We're in eclipse season. Well, we've been in eclipse season since that new supermoon in Pisces, but we're getting ready to have the first eclipse that's going to be happening, so it's kind of nice. I normally talk about all the lunar shenanigans on my other channel, which I'll talk about later there, Cap. But I'm going to pull an Oracle card from this deck for each one of them, and then we'll get some additional stuff with or get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into that, Capricorn, I have this new thing that I'm doing. It started with Scorpio, and I've just been kind of rolling with it. So I have these 12-sided dice here. One of them has numbers which represent the houses, and the other one has the 10 luminaries, the 10 celestial bodies, and then the north and the south node on it. And then I always have this one that I just put in use just to have as a marker here that has the zodiac signs on it. But I'm going to roll these dice, and we're going to see what energies come up for you. Maybe get you to check out your chart, see if these are kind of crucial points. Maybe they're heavily aspected. Maybe you actually have this alignment. You can learn a little bit more about it, Capricorn. So let's get into it. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, interesting. Capricorn. I think I know someone who has this. But you have Mars here, and you have the 7th house, Capricorn. And that's interesting, because even when you combine all three, Mars does very well in your sign. And I feel that this energy here, where, one, check your Mars energy there, Capricorn, because I feel Mars is going to play a pretty nice role in your chart over this season. But also Mars is our energy, our drive, our sense of being, this will, the force that puts us into action. And so this could be seeing how you relate with your Mars. Do you notice that you tend to have maybe low energy? Maybe you have Mars in Pisces and they're getting ready to get up on a Mars return here that's getting ready to come up. Or maybe you have Mars in Libra, which would be very similar to this Mars in a 7th house. Maybe you have this, because when you think about the 7th house, this gets geared towards relationships. This is the house of shared energies. We're starting to get to the house of sharing. And I feel like this could be where, with even this kind of combination of Mars in the 7th house, and even when you throw in Capricorn, this could be how relationships affect your drive, how they affect who you want to become as far as like who you are. This could be something where you really could benefit. energetically from working on maybe on some sort of collaborative project. This could be, maybe I feel this could be a strong energy for partnerships, as far as like maybe if you want to take it in business, but this can be in any sort of endeavor where I feel that this energy too could be, because this is a tricky one, because Capricorn energy is one that is a bit of a solitary type of energy. Not that you're meant to be like you're just going to end up alone there, Capricorn, but it's more so Capricorn energy needs time to reflect on where its energy is going. Where this energy and how it's going to grow, and who am I becoming, and what do I want to become? Am I walking in that? And I don't mean just in a career, even though you get put in that box, Capricorn. I mean just in life in general. Do you want to be the botanist? Do you want to be the accordion player at the whatever? Like this is just like, no matter what other people are thinking, this is just for you. And I feel like maybe there could be this challenge with wanting to be who you are, but also meeting the expectations there could potentially, depending on how this Mars is aspected, there could even be this aggression with it, possibly, if there are some tougher aspects maybe with this thing. There could even be, on the flip side, there could be this very malleable energy, one that will do whatever to, and never really quite find who they are, or never really are quite driven. Other people have to drive them. So this is a very interesting, and this is a tough place for Mars to be, because this is a house, being in the 7th house, that he does a little weaker in, but it's a plus if you combine it with the Mars in Capricorn. So if you have this Mars in Capricorn energy, but Mars is one, he doesn't stick close to the sun, so you could have Mars wherever, Capricorn, unlike, Mercury and Venus usually stay within a certain distance. The moon and Mars are kind of wild when it comes to the personal planets. They just do as they please. And so this could even be I feel like there could be some maybe self-esteem stuff, maybe some loneliness around finding those who really support you in the times when you need some space there, Capricorn, when you're needing some quiet. So, but I do feel like when you do find those relationships, find those people, it will be very motivated. It'll be ones that are very worth it. Because I do feel a patience here that could come with this energy, Capricorn, with this Mars in the 7th house. So, or just learning how your energies, and learning how to pace yourself with other people's energy. Like there's a potential for a very nice reciprocity, but it's like the sign tells us how and why the energies will be are working. The sign, the planet is the what, and then the the house is the where that is happening. So it's like when you piece it all together, then it all comes down to imagination there, Capricorn. So that's very interesting. So yeah, definitely check if you have any 7th house places. I actually know a couple people who have. One in particular has a very high concentration of planets in the 7th house. I do want to say their Mars is in the 7th house, in an earth sign. But yeah, so pay attention. Maybe Mars is an important planet for you. Maybe you happen to have like an Aries rising, and Mars is your chart ruler. So a lot of stuff you can consider with that, Capricorn. If you want to learn more about this information, check down in the description box below. I do personal readings. We can look over your chart, see how you can work with these energies. And this is less about how these energies define you. You may express traits of this Capricorn Mars 7th house energy, but it's like, how do you translate it? It can be a number of ways. How have you come to understand it? And that's what I feel astrology is kind of meant for. It's like these little treasure maps that I feel higher self, these like notes that they leave you to decipher, to decode, to feel, to imagine, what that looks like for you. So yeah, just something to think about there, Capricorn. I also have it on my Instagram as well. So, and then last couple of things there, Capricorn, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings. So apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. Hold on, the cap. Think of yourself. And the decks that I'm working with. I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I enjoy watching their caps, so definitely check them out. They're a fantastic group. They really bring some unique guidance and things. So yeah, go show them some support. There's also an astrologer that I really enjoy, Capricorn. She's very intuitive. I think she's I really enjoy the way that she interprets the energy. So, that might be something you may enjoy, Cap. There are a couple of podcasts I really like and some apps as well as some websites, some cool astrology websites. I try to provide as many tools and things so that you can get all the stuff to follow these things as people throw information, get you a little inquisitive about these energies, Capricorn, and try not to overwhelm yourself. Go out and live life. While these energies are going on there too. So definitely remember that as well. But before we get into this first card here, I'm almost done. Well, actually, no, I'm not. We're going to be talking this whole time, so just settle in. Let's talk about this energy that's happening in Aries, because I do like this energy for you here, Capricorn. I feel of the signs you can really do a lot of nice work with this, because you have the sun that's in Aries. We have this is going to be the second eclipse that's happening. We have a new moon total solar eclipse that's happening. We have our first Mercury retrograde, which is going to happen in Aries, and then the lovely Empress Venus will be entering in there. But let's talk about, and keep in mind too, this, I do feel this Mars theme does play a very important part in this, and I feel like especially for you there, Capricorn. So with the sun entering into Aries, let's start there, because the sun enters on the 19th of March, and that'll be at about 8:07 p.m., and that'll be Pacific time, and then he'll be there through the 19th of April. Now, with this energy, Capricorn, just like you're this another we're welcoming a fellow cardinal back into the mix. We're getting into Aries season. It's the vernal equinox. The spring is here, depending on where you're at in the world, and this is a time where I feel things are coming alive, because the sun is strong here. After the sign of Leo, the sign I'm playing around with the terms there, Capricorn. Instead of rulership, I've read something not too long ago, and they refer to them as guardians, and I really kind of like that. So I'm playing around with that. But after Leo, the sun does very well in Aries. He's exalted there. Just like how Mars is exalted in your sign, there's this comfortableness that comes with this energy. And so I feel that can be very enlivening for you, Capricorn, because I feel for some this can be one where you really kind of challenge yourself, especially if you've been feeling, especially since you got this energy here with the Mars kind of getting things moving. But I feel that this can be one where for some this is a time to get yourself motivated if you've been kind of coasting, is what I've been kind of getting. It's because this Aries energy is going to be forming a square with your Capricorn placements. And squares can bring tensions, they can bring delays, they can bring frustration, but I feel this energy is what you need to get motivated, especially if you've been feeling a bit. It's like it's time for some to take it to that next level. It's time for some others, I feel like, to get something started, period. Because this could be where maybe you're the type that, where I was talking on the more malleable end, needs someone else to tell you what to do. And now it's time to take more responsibility, take more accountability, and really choose the trajectory of where your journey is going. And I feel like that's something where you're going to need to take some time for yourself, really kind of meditate on what do you want to do, because where, I see where you could, where Capricorn is associated with careers, because it's embodying the thing that you do and the thing that people see you for. And it's not worrying about what other people think about what you're doing or whatever. It's just that it's true to you. You and that thing becoming one. Jenny, the maybe she's the mother, or Jenny the firefighter, or Jenny the fisherwoman, or this could be this could be a number of things. Alex the zookeeper, Alex the book, the librarian, Alex the runner. This is just like, what is that thing that you're, and I feel like too, Capricorn, not just keeping yourself in a box. When you've reached in a place that you've gotten something kind of comfortable, this can be a time and energy of starting something fresh, starting something new, maybe something that can be, it's an extension of what you're doing in a different type of way, and then there can be this cool fusion that even happens. I feel of the square relationships that can kind of happen between signs. I feel the one between Aries and Capricorn can be constructive, because I feel this Aries energy is reminding you that you don't have forever. There's an urgency there, and I'm not saying you need to rush, but I do feel like this is lighting a fire a little bit, getting maybe a bit more exciting, living a bit more intentionally. Because let's talk about the Mercury retrograde next. That's going to be happening on the 1st of April at about 3:15 p.m. And Mercury will be retrograde until the 25th of April. Now, Mercury gets very far along in Aries before they retrograde back. They get to 27 degrees and 13 minutes of Aries, and it'll retrograde back all the way to 15 degrees, and they won't be out of that shadow until they leave that 27th degree energy. So it's a lot of space for trial and error is what I feel for you, and I almost feel that this energy is encouraging that, Capricorn. This is a time to kind of get a little messy, to kind of play in the dirt and try some new things, allow yourself to fail. And I don't feel like this has to be like big things, but I feel like it's just something to get you in an inspired sort of place there. Do be a little curious, listen to what the body is. And I think I'm going to switch that. Listen to what the body is telling you there, Capricorn, because there is this excitement that happens in Aries. There is this, again, things just like it's a breath of fresh air. We've been making space while we were under your jurisdiction in your kind of cardinal space, but now it's time to see what's growing in these new grounds here. And that's what I feel this Mercury retrograde can be for you, one where you can really kind of get things in motion. And this is perfect because it's like right as we're getting this stuff figured out, we're getting a week into this retrograde. Then we have the new moon total solar eclipse that's going to be happening in Aries on the 8th of April, and that'll be at 11:21 a.m. and it'll be happening at 19 degrees 24 minutes of Aries. And I mentioned the degrees because if you have any points or planets around that, you may be feeling this energy a bit more potently. That's actually happened around my north, squaring actually my north and south node, and pretty close to even my sun and square my sun and Neptune placement, because they're all in a tight opposition conjunction together. It's actually really it's something. But this energy I feel for you, Capricorn, is again very fertile ground, hot energy. Eclipses bring about change, and this new moon is setting that intention for newness. What do you want to, this I feel like is almost like a revitalization of who you want to be. There's this it's breathing new life into something there, Capricorn, fueling this new persona of where you're going. This is setting some sort of intention, doing some sort of, but I feel like it's you taking these manageable steps towards this thing. I do feel less visualizing it, a bit more action with you, Capricorn, and just literally just kind of going with it. Like you may, if you feel just that inspiration, just roll with it, and really kind of tune in, I feel like, to the senses too, because speaking of this energy, I feel like when we're talking about planets and other people's signs that feel a little strange, you have Venus that's entering into Aries on the 4th of April at about 9 p.m. and she'll be there through the 29th of April. Now I say that about Venus because like how that energy with the Mars in the 7th house, Mars is in detriment in the 7th house, so that's an arena that he has troubles kind of navigating in. And it's the same with Venus and Aries because this is a sign that Mars rules. And so, but this Venus in Aries, I feel, is tuning into her needs. This is when I feel like she's inviting for you, Capricorn, to to find a way to, or to make it a point to just be like, hey, maybe talk with some of your friends or something like, I need to kind of go MIA for a little bit. I need to maybe go off and do some sort of nature walk or do something, because Capricorn does benefit from doing meditation, doing those sort of things to kind of see where they want, because when you set your mind to it there, Capricorn, there is a discipline that comes with Saturn. There's an understanding that this is going to take time, that this is going to be this, but it's going to be worth it because, when you go to look back over this time, you have been walking in your path. That's what Capricorn is about. Setting your eyes on whatever your mountain looks like and then climbing that peak, committing to the challenges, and knowing that, and it's not even that, just knowing that your peak is this, it turns into a cascade, but I feel like there's something heartening in that with this Venus in Aries. She's pushing herself out of her comfort zone in a way, trying something a bit different, being a bit more bolder here, Capricorn. And it's very interesting, and thinking about, I feel too, just how that may affect your relationships, because I do feel you do have a lot of energies that are kind of going on here in this Aries season for you, Cap. So it could be tensions depending on how we go with the energies, but I feel like it can be one where this, again, kind of can really refine or enforce your willpower there, Capricorn. So I really like that for you. But let's go ahead and get into this first energy here, which I like. And then this is dope because you have the Hunter card here, Capricorn, which is a card of sure-footedness and predestination. And so that's where I feel like this Aries energy is allowing you to get solid in your footing. The quote unquote hunt is about to begin. And understanding that we may have this destination, but knowing that there's going to be twists and turns, and that there are going to be parts that and there are going to be times where you're going to need to rely on instinct, where it's going to be a very interesting blend of instinct, this intuition, trusting in, walking confidently on the clouds is what I'm even kind of feeling for you. It's almost like you're doing this hunt in like a thick fog there, Capricorn. We're not sure where the mark is going. We're not sure where the trees are popping up, if we're going to, but it's just still going that I need to get to this destination. I need to get to this thing because there's this calling. There's this I hear the horn of the but I imagine that's what they do for you asked me the last time I've been on a hunt, Capricorn. So, but this is, I feel, a new sort of confidence, maybe an unfamiliar kind of confidence there, Capricorn, but I do feel one that does. And this is a bit of an abstract way of, I feel like, kind of looking at that 7th house relationship, and usually it is with the other. But I feel that in learning yourself energetically there, Capricorn, there's something here, I feel like, how that does maybe translate in how you show up with others as well. But it's just like there's this relationship with your energy, I feel like, is getting tight here, like getting uncomfortable in unfamiliar terrain, like we're talking about with Mars being in the 7th house here. And yeah, let me get some tarot on this, Capricorn, and get some details with this. All right, Cap. Thank you, yourself. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, fascinating. So you have the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Cups in reverse here, Cap. Then you have the Ten of Cups, the King of Cups, and then you have the Death card here, which is Scorpio energy. And interesting, there, Capricorn. It's the goddess Kali here on this card. I actually have a statue of the goddess Kali over here. So just a little fun fact there. Every time she pops out during the reading, I always think that's a time for change there, Capricorn. You know, the Death card is... I feel the energies are flowing differently in you with this Ace of Cups here, Capricorn. I feel that this can be a time for you to shape a new wish. This can be a time to ask, are there things that I need to change about where things are at right now? You know, is there something that's feeling uneasy? And I feel like if there's something that you're wanting to change in your environment, I feel this King of Cups is asking you to check within before we're making any sort of radical decisions and things along those lines, because Scorpio energy sometimes can be intense. Scorpio energy, and I'm thinking about the house that they're associated with, the 8th house, is a house that, you know, we experience change and stuff like all the time, but there's this crisis energy that sometimes gets associated with Scorpio. And I feel like that, you know, when we're under those kind of extreme emotional type of energies, sometimes we can make, you know, because Scorpio energy is very fascinating, and it forms a very harmonious aspect with you, Capricorn. And I feel because Scorpio is that energy of knowing that I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. How does that make me feel? Am I in alignment with where I'm going right now? And I feel that this energy is not, it is, you know, Scorpio energy can be one that can maybe be seen as a bit morbid or something along those lines, but it's more so making sure that you are appreciating every moment that this life has to give. And, you know, Scorpio energy is not afraid of feeling those intense type of emotions. It's sharp for a water sign. Scorpio energy is, and not that water energy is not sharp, my sun signs in Cancer, but it's more so that if there's this question of, if we're not so sure as far as like our destination, if we're not feeling fulfilled in the destination, what can we do to get there? And again, I don't mean that this is something that we're changing jobs or anything along those lines. It's just like the thing that you want to do, you can still work at your 9 to 5 and go make time to be the scuba diver that you want to be. Or maybe you want to be a polyglot, or maybe you want to work with Reiki, or, you know, something that, again, you can wear multiple hats as well there, Capricorn. But, all right, I think I'm going to leave that there. Yes, some nice changes I feel that you can initiate with this, and getting more towards your, I love that. Since we're going to be talking about this energies next. Thank you, higher self. Get more towards your dreams there, Capricorn, because the 10 of Cups is Mars in Pisces. And let's talk about that energy next, because we have Pisces energy. You have Mars that's there, or getting ready to enter there. You have Saturn that's been kicking it, and Neptune that's been kicking it there as well. Now, since lovely 10 of Cups is here, let's talk about Mars, because Mars is going to be entering into Pisces on the 22nd of March at about 4:45 p.m. and then we'll be there through the 30th of April. Now, the reason I bring up, you know, this Mars energy is so important, because there's a lot of Mars energy going on when all of this or excuse me, there's all with all this Aries energy that's going on during their season. Mars is the dispositor of all of those planets, or the is the sign that rule, or is associated with that Aries energy. So we have to look to that to see how this Aries energy is being translated, since in Mars is an important factor considering all of this stuff that's happening, and considering too that new moon solar eclipse is going to be happening at the exact degree where Chiron is as well. This is going to be like a triple conjunction that's happening with that. And that's something I just remembered to mention. And so this can be a lot of healing energy, because I feel that this could be something where, with Mars being in the mix of this as well, that we can start to really kind of understand in our bodies. Our minds may maybe forget, but the body can hold that trauma sometimes. When it comes to certain things. I feel for you, Capricorn, this can be one of some really kind of rich discovery, some rich kind of transformation here, and just again feeling a bit more sure-footed in where you're going, as opposed to, I feel like, being predestined, feeling like the track was just laid out for you just cuz you're actually going in the flow with this energy. So I feel this is something where you don't force yourself with all this Aries energy. I feel like it's one where it is exciting. It is one where you're testing and making mistakes, but making sure to balance out this stuff as well. Get some rest and there's something here, Capricorn, as far as doing some creative things, I feel, with your energy that can help you, I feel, flex your imagination as well. Because when you think about it, the nice thing about your Capricorn placements, whenever planets are in that Scorpio energy, or like they've been in this Pisces energy, you're getting some harmonious energies with that. Sometimes there may be challenges that come with that, but it's easy to handle nonetheless. And those both are very intuitive energies that are feeding this sense of self, that are discovering this sense. And so I feel it's like you have one end, the Scorpio's bringing the change, and now this Pisces is initiating how you transcend from that, the things that you're learning to forgive and to let go. So, and this is very interesting too, because now let's talk about your ruler, because Saturn has been there since the 7th of March 2023, and will be there through the 24th of May 2025. And he and Neptune will be retrograding back and forth between Pisces and Aries starting next year. Now, this is an interesting one for you, Capricorn, because Saturn is finishing up a cycle, a 30-year cycle of his 30-year cycle of, and maybe for some of you maybe you have Saturn in Aries, but he's finishing up a Saturn return, and now we're in this place where I feel that Saturn is asking you where you haven't been so disciplined, where we maybe could have brought our visions more into view, where you maybe have been neglecting your self-care, I feel, even for some, where we may have been feeling maybe a bit overstressed, or even maybe kind of asking, I feel, where we may have been indulging in like escapisms, possibly, where we may have allowed our boundaries to not be enforced, even for you, Capricorn. But I feel that this is an opportunity, especially with this Aries energy here, to, especially with that boundaries part of it, to kind of enforce like where you're going, like, hey, these are my changes, and where do you stand with that? Is this something that, instead of like giving people an ultimatum, asking where they're kind of, I feel like, maybe feeling, and seeing how we can maybe compromise this. We can have this energy where we can bring in that tactful softness of Libra, but it can still have that stern, that fuel that Mars brings. It turns from maybe like it turns into like a healthy debate more so, or really kind of weighing out the pros and cons, being very practical, even when we ground it in your energy there, Capricorn. But, you know, the Saturn in Pisces is one where I feel that that's interesting. I'm even kind of feeling too, there's a bit of reflection with that Pluto in Capricorn, considering that, or when Pluto goes back into Capricorn, because he's going to go one more time back there in your sign, Capricorn, before we wrap up. And he officially moves into Aquarius. And so I even find that very fascinating. I feel like there's a hint there, kind of looking back at how, because you've been affected by Pluto there, Capricorn. You've gone, you know, now it's Aquarius's time, you know, and this has been some deep transformations, whether we've realized it or not, and they may be still kind of coming up for you there as you get more familiar with where the things that Pluto have maybe dug up for you. But this could be some reflecting over that period of time and seeing how you have changed, how you have come into your power, how you show up as an authority in the world. And I feel like how, because that Pluto energy can feel a bit maybe almost intoxicating a little. And so I feel the Saturn in Pisces is coming with, as you're wrapping up this energy, there's something here that Saturn, I feel like, needs to, that Pluto's experiencing while Saturn's in Pisces. That's really nice. That's very interesting how that's coming up for you there, Capricorn. So, you know, apply that as it resonates. Now, the reason I feel this energy is one really kind of powerful for you too, Capricorn, is that Neptune is finishing out her cycle as well in Pisces around the same time, just a little bit earlier before Saturn is. And eventually, I'm going to say they're going to eventually get into a conjunction. So, you know, whenever, and if you have any points around that, it's going to be fascinating. But Neptune and Saturn are going to be getting in a conversation here soon. I feel this is going to be a very intuitive time for you, Capricorn. This is a time to pay attention to any dreams that you have, any sort of intuitive nudges that I feel have been guiding you, any sort of things that we may have dismissed or ignored that have been kind of coming up for you that may have seemed like happenstance, but maybe warrant a little bit more of a thorough looking at, I feel, for you. For example, I've been this for me personally. I've been noticing that and this has been happening for a while. For a long, honestly, since Neptune. Now that I'm thinking about it, since I think Neptune has been entering in Pisces, I've been getting a lot of people, and it's been kind of on and off, but more on here recently, asking me, you know, where I'm from, you know, like where was I born? Oh, I would have thought you were born in Africa, and I've been getting, and I did a 23andMe, and I didn't look that hard at it at the time, but I have some things that are tied to Africa. And so there's been this sort of calling, and it's been aggressive here lately. And so I had even had it in a week, like 3 people had asked me. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm going to look into that. Maybe there's a trip that's needing to be booked, something. But I feel like it's something like that, being inquisitive like that. There's some sort of messages that I feel like are wanting to, the universe can't be any louder about them. You know, I feel like something is wanting to be explored. And like I was saying, this energy is forming sextile energy with your sign, which makes things a bit easier, Capricorn. So, and this is very excitable energy. This can bring about different opportunities. This can bring, who knows what kind of potential could come from these explorations, from these intuitive nudges here. But again, I feel they're worth looking into. But let's get an oracle on this, Capricorn, and get some details. Alrighty. Take care of yourself. Interesting, Capricorn. So you have the Runaway card in reverse, And this is a card of secrets and running from the problems. Interesting. And so Capricorn, I feel that whatever, that's fascinating. This may, and I find that's interesting that I was talking about this energy of forgiveness and maybe energies, escapisms that are coming up. So if there are some things, Capricorn, that you have been running away from, how has that been working for you? And I really mean that because there are times where there are certain feelings that we may not want to feel. I get it, Capricorn. Like I said, my sun's in Cancer, I got Chiron and the South Node in Cancer. And, you know, and I bring this up because we can learn a lot from our opposite signs, even if we don't have aspects forming to them. We can learn a lot from them. And in every sign, of course. But I feel that Capricorn energy sometimes I feel like it's because feelings are and can be a bit irrational. They can make things a little murky. They can make things, it can get you where it's just like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel practical. It doesn't feel grounded. It doesn't feel structured. But sometimes those things are needing to be acknowledged. They need to be felt so that you can find a bit more stable ground with them. Because if we keep running away from these emotions or whatever problems may be happening, then nothing changes. We just stay stuck, stay frozen in an image. And that's interesting. I'm even picturing this Ten of Cups here as just like just kind of freezing ourselves and getting kind of stuck or creating this freeze frame of ourselves there, Capricorn. And because Cancer is one that, yes, we do, or the Cancerian frequency, it feels a lot and learns through emotions. And again, where they can be a lot, it helps us when we work with those energies and understand them. It helps us meet ourselves with more compassion. Then we're not so caught off guard by something. And I feel there's these secrets that I feel this energy is saying that it's these. If we give the problems some time to breathe and face them and understand them, then we learn the secrets that they were holding, the lessons, the gold nuggets that were trying to be produced there, Capricorn, the growth that was trying to happen. There may be some things that, we may be, Saturn again may be trying to put some stuff in your face there, Capricorn. Where are some things you've been trying to keep secret that you can no longer keep buried underneath? That's Pluto in Capricorn. That's bringing some stuff from, and interesting that we talk about that. There's your ruler. Herself. But let me see what's going on here, Cap. So you have the King of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Strength card in reverse, and this is Leo energy. You're getting a lot of fixed energy here, Cap, because you have the Leo's a fixed sign, Scorpio's a fixed sign, then you have Aquarius here, the fixed air, and then your ruler, the Saturn card, World. The World card here, Saturn. Let's try that again. But there's something here, Capricorn, as far as like when we're actively putting energy towards running away for something, that's energy that could have been used towards something else. But now that's being occupied, and and I feel like it's taking away from your strength. It's keeping you from moving effectively here. All of your wands this energy is feeling thwarted, and I feel like that's what this Aries energy may do for you, Capricorn. This can be one where we either start to maybe close some things out with the world, start start letting some growth come in, or we can go through this the hard type of way, the more challenging way. I feel is with this Strength card being in reverse. It knows like where we're feeling overwhelmed, or where we're feeling, like we don't want to deal with something. It's very interesting here, Capricorn. But yeah, there's whatever this is that we're running away from. The World card is a time for closures. The Star card is a time for healing, and I feel what these problems are doing, they're revealing new strengths. They're showing where where you can be better, Capricorn. However this may be applying. So, that's something to pay attention to. Especially Pisces energy is one that can be classified as evasive and a bit hard to grasp, or so just be mindful of that, Capricorn. Now let's talk about some more energy here, because we have this penumbral full moon lunar eclipse that's going to be happening in the lovely sign of Libra. And yeah, this is the first lunar eclipse that's happening, Cap, on the 25th of March at midnight. And this will be at 5 degrees 7 minutes of Libra. And I want to say that the actual full moon happens a few moments later. It's very fascinating how this is all working out here. But this energy, the penumbral full moon lunar eclipse, is one that you see a subtle shadow kind of cast on the moon. But I feel for you, Capricorn, that this may be some secrets that we may have been keeping from yourself, and maybe even from others, maybe coming up to the mix. And I don't feel like this is necessarily anything like scandalous, Capricorn. This feels more so like maybe some things you didn't know about yourself, some things that we're discovering, some questions that we're asking. Maybe you want to try this new thing. Maybe you're wanting to go back to school. Maybe you're wanting to become a parent. Maybe you're wanting to, whatever this thing is. I feel like now this is going to be where maybe some relationships get put to the test, where we're going to maybe need to communicate a little bit more what your needs are, and to maybe understand a different type of language, possibly, that may be at odds with how you're used to operating. But again, change is something that is part of the journey, one of the, like a constant. And I feel in this, Capricorn, there's something really nice I feel can happen with this Libra energy when we find when we're able to grow with others and be able to share this dialogue, where we're able to make space for mistakes, to allow change to sometimes be messy, to sometimes be where you're not sure where you're going. But I feel even understanding too, maybe even with you, Capricorn, that this could be where we're kind of maybe understanding to voice maybe our capacity, the things that we have energies to deal with. Maybe you do have your own type of personal stuff, and you don't have space for another person's thing, or stuff right now. It's not that you don't care, but it's just like, yo, let us both take a moment and give me like 20, give me 30, give me an hour. And then as much as you gave me, then I'm gonna give you that in exchange, and then make this, and like see how it's just changing the flow. And that's how I feel this energy could go for you, Capricorn. But it's going to be one where I feel that it's going to be your stuff. It stems from challenges, but these challenges are, I feel like, particularly constructive for you here, especially because they're supported with this Pisces energy. There is that Saturn has this empathy. He always has empathy, but I feel like that Capricorn energy understands that things can be hard, that, finding who you are, this journey, and the discipline that it takes to do do and show up every day and be yourself despite what your lover thinks, what your this thinks, what your that thinks. You know, Capricorn energy is that building up of yourself before you take it out and become Aquarius and take it out into the wild. So, you're very interesting, Capricorn. Let's get get an oracle on this. Yeah, I knew that this was, or I don't want to say I knew, but I felt that this was going to be a very kind of motivational one for you, Capricorn. A very, just like a very empowering type of energy. This could be for just yourself and maybe even for your relationships as well, you know? I like that. Because I have been meditating on, you know, what Capricorn energy means to me. You know, I have my North Node is in the 6th house in Capricorn. So that Capricorn, where I'm going, it is unknown territory. And that's been, interesting. But, thank you, yourself. Let's talk about maybe some unknown territory for you there, Capricorn. Because you have the Captain card in reverse here. And this is a card of taking command and teamwork. And you know, Capricorn, I'm even thinking about this. You know, you and Cancer have been in a square with the nodes going through Aries and Libra. The South Node being in Libra, North Node being in Aries, and this has been a time for us to start taking command and been asking us, I feel like, how we show up in the team. And I feel that this captain card here is kind of changing our view of what a captain looks like. That there can be multiple captains, that there can be multiple leaders. And that leadership means something different because we're getting out of you where in your energy, and it's very fascinating. I feel like your energy has kind of been a bit skewed, Capricorn, where it's been, and I don't want to say, let me be mindful. Saturn has been put where there's this hierarchy that happens, where, you know, it's about where it's not, you need to, and I'm not sure, you know, and I just find that very fascinating because, you know, Capricorn is not about being better than others. I feel like at the purest expression, you know, it is about being who you are and the discipline it takes to do that. You know, it is not about the applause, the celebrity, the riches, all that stuff is a byproduct of what you're doing. If it so happens, then dope. You know, but if not, even when you're not getting paid, even when there's no one applauding, even when there's no one doing this, it's doing it for you. And that you and you alone. And that's the big thing. And I feel like that there is this, we're getting into this energy where we are needing to take command of what it is and who we are and how we show up and how many myriad ways that we can show up in the team. You know, we're redefining, I feel, teamwork in a sense. It's not someone taking control and calling the shots. Maybe someone is good at managing the energies, but it's understanding everyone's importance, that everyone has this integral role to play. And I feel that the captain is one that is giving all a voice here, Capricorn. It's not just like, oh, this is about my needs, about where I'm at today. You know, getting a feel, and it's taking command in a different type of way, understanding your presence, and I feel like not feeling threatened by other people's things. You know, it's very, very fascinating what I'm feeling with this captain card here, Capricorn. Very emperor energy here. But this could be, and it's just it's very interesting that you would get this where you did come up with this energy of relationships with the 7th house there, Capricorn, and you know, we may be redefining, you know, what a team looks like, who we're having on our team, and this is unfamiliar territory. We're getting our footing, you know, but I don't feel this is a time, again, to run away from problems. This is a time to face problems head on and allow them to Again, to put yourself to new bounds there, Capricorn. Alright, Cap. Think of yourself. Let's see what else is going on here. Alright, so you have the Eight of Wands, the Two of Swords, and then the High Priestess here, which is the Moon card. And I like that you got the Two of Swords. That's the Moon in Libra. And then we have the Temperance card up right here, Cap, and that's Sagittarius energy. And I feel, Capricorn, that this energy here is... I feel like that there is this, like, just like these people are kind of shaking hands here. Or at least that's what we're trying to get to. I feel that there's these, you know how this figure is mixing opposing energies together, this fire and water. I feel that there is this need of learning how to integrate. You know, maybe showing up in a team in a different type of way. Maybe there are some that are that are switching maybe to handing the power over to someone else, allowing someone else to be an expert in a situation here, or it's like this. It's very interesting. There's this energy of like the Two of Swords is not feeling like they need to call all the shots here, or I'm even getting this energy here, Capricorn. There's something here about maybe even sure about your place, and this could be maybe in the team, in the world, possibly here, Capricorn. Again, apply it how it resonates. Maybe this could be in your groups. What are we bringing? You know, what's the thing that I want to do? You know, maybe we feel like there's this waffling that's going on, and I feel there's something here. It's like we're getting in our head there, Capricorn, and we're not trusting like the intuition, and it's allowing the panic or something to take command here. And in this, maybe running away from our problems and maybe not taking command and responsibility. Maybe and this could be something too there, Capricorn. There could be a projection energy that's going on here. Maybe we're putting slowdowns based off, let's say, for example, if let's say you're responsible for a certain amount of people in like at a business or something, and maybe productivity has been down, and it's like we're putting this on the team. Maybe this could be, as the manager, it's like, you know what, let me take some responsibility for that because I'm not sure why the team has been doing this. Let me go ask them. Let me see what's going on with that. And then I feel that creates more harmony in the team we've created this conversation, and or this dialogue, and now there's this bridge that has been formed. You know, it's very interesting. There's this, a new way, I feel like, of how we're maybe showing up, maybe in our partnerships. Maybe we're both being captains, you know, or maybe we're getting in this kind of exchange here, or we're just kind of, and it doesn't even feel like an energy of stepping down. I just feel like everyone is playing their role, but still feeling like the main character and the supporting character in their life. There's a very clear distinction of that, Capricorn. I like that. Yeah, but it's like it's not getting lost in someone else's thing. You know, when I'm talking about that supporting character, you know, it's letting the other person kind of live, you know, letting them live their life, but also, you know, I think that makes sense. But let's talk about this next energy here, Capricorn, which is Taurus. Because, like I said, you got a lot of energy that's going on with you. So this one is interesting because you have Jupiter that's in Taurus, and then you have Uranus that's in Taurus. And let's start with Uranus, because Uranus has been in Taurus since May of 2018, and then will be there until July, early July of 2025, where he'll do some retrograding back between all these outer planets. They're going to be doing this thing where they're entering the sign and then they're backing off a little bit. And it's just like I feel that this is that sort of like integration. It's like this is a time to get the foundation, because it's like when we're in it, we're in it. It is not that the energies just go away, but they're not the focus anymore. And I feel that with this Uranus being in Taurus, because this has been forming a trine with your sign there, Capricorn. I feel this Uranus and Taurus energy for all of us has been, even with those, even because Uranus is a kind of a wild card. He brings about this change, and but it's not just change for the sake of just for the expression of change. It's this, have we been where have we lost our freedom, in a sense? Where have we given up control? What is the authority that we need to challenge in our life? And with it being in Taurus, this is like what has been impacting my values. Where am I not feeling self-confident in who I am, or secure in who I am, or maybe even what I think, even possibly compared to everyone else here. I feel this one for you, Capricorn, has been, or it's at least with these remaining couple years of this energy, of this being the focus, of thinking about the stuff that you're running from. That you're let me try to ground this, Capricorn. It's like the stuff that you're running from. How has that how it's again like, how has that been working? It's almost like we're saying we're free from, or not dealing with something, and then it comes up randomly, and then it still has so much power. There's not that, because the thing with Taurus energy, it's one thing to have that physical security. That's easy to get that. It's harder to get that inner security, that inner peace, I feel that Taurus is looking for. And I feel that this energy for you has been looking within and kind of breaking your stuff down into simpler things there, Capricorn. It's very interesting. I'm getting for you, and another sign I kind of got this too, but it's kind of like a back to the basics type of energy. Kind of looking at kind of tuning into your body a bit more there, Capricorn, tuning a bit more into your environment, and seeing how that's changed, how your needs have changed, how your things that may have used to do it for you may not be doing it anymore. There's something to hear about. There's this, a different type, you being more unique, being more yourself. And this is interesting too, because with Big Papa Jupiter's been in Taurus since last May the 16th, and will be there till the 25th of May this year. And this Jupiter in Taurus, I feel like for you is, and the thing too, Jupiter and Uranus are going to be forming a conjunction in Taurus this year, and I feel for you, Capricorn, this is a lot of learning coming through with this, because Jupiter is one of where we grow, where we expand, and in that there's the abundance. You know, we can have more of that. The more we explore, the more we broaden our perspective in things, you know. And I feel there's this, it was Taurus, I think I was saying something similar to this, but appreciating there's this patience that's coming through for some, that appreciating the process, you know, just how it takes a tree a while to grow. And even looking at some of the taller trees, when you, if you find yourself marveling at one again, think about all the things that it went through to get to that length. The, not just all the sunlight and all the beautiful times when you're on the beautiful day that you're catching that tree, but on the times thing too when there were heavy storms, when it was being threatened, you know, thinking about how the environment has changed over all of this time, the fact that it's made it this tall, you know, it's, there's this very almost kind of visceral type of thing I'm feeling with this Jupiter in Taurus. Like something here that is, yeah, something I feel like to kind of pay into. This is very kind of, again, very reflective, kind of deep energy here. If you get a moment there, Capricorn, while they're still kind of in this focus, get outside and just see how things have changed. Ponder how you, I'm just picturing you out in a wilderness, picture you out in the woods, picture you out somewhere, just reevaluating some things, you know, kind of getting a, like getting grounded, getting more of this sure footing in the earth. And interesting. Thank you, higher self. So with your oracle cards, you have the Alchemist here, Capricorn, and this is a card of balance, invention, and destruction. And that's what I feel is happening here, Capricorn. There's some alchemy, and I like that. With this Temperance card, we got some alchemy that's cooking up here. I do feel like there is this, it's time to look at the things that you've invented, the things, the stories, the narratives, the who you are, the things that you've, look at the things that you've created from the relationships. And this is a very thorough look over. This is not something I feel like you rush into this thing just like as you're figuring some stuff out. If things come into play, just see where they're at on that balance scale. You know, how are we in relationship to, because I'm getting your energy, the devil energy that's coming through, and not in a negative way, but in a constructive type of way, in one that we look at the things and see how maybe it has brought about a bit of destruction, and how we may need to destroy that part in order to make some space for some new sort of, some alchemy, some new creativity to come into the mix here, Capricorn. But because, you know, and listen, I was looking up the, I've been doing you know, okay, love that, Capricorn, because here's your energy here. The devil. But see, it's in reverse there, Capricorn, and I like that, because that's what exactly what I meant. It doesn't feel like it's something that it's meant to try to keep you down. But I was looking at this thing with Jupiter and Taurus. I've been doing a bit of research with these. You know, when you do look into astrology, you'll come across this stuff with like Sabian symbols, and I've really enjoyed that. That's added a very wonderful, very nice little place for me to play around in and kind of exercise my imagination and whatnots. But there is a mention, and this is, you know, stay calm there, Capricorn, take it as it resonates. But there was a mention with that conjunction that's happening, in the degree that it's happening in, it talks about this energy of faith, and it's in the face of, and I'm paraphrasing here, and I'll talk about this energy a little bit more as we get closer to it, but it's like in the face of crisis, how do you show up? You know, like when, and again, crisis is what, you know, what I'm gonna wear can be a crisis, you know, like, and just getting used to making decisions could be a crisis, you know, but I feel that there's something here about in the face of adversity, how you're rising up, how you're creating in destruction. What are we creating? What are we inventing? How are we getting innovative? But so you have the devil here, Capricorn, the Queen of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands in reverse. And then you have Taurus here, who we just happen to be talking about, the Hierophant upright. And with the Hierophant, you know, when I'm talking about that energy, even just because I hadn't talked about that with another sign, that conjunction, I feel that for you, and really all of us, but, you know, if you happen, especially if you have any points there, you know, there's this lesson that's coming from this. It's like an initiation that's coming through here with the with the Four of Wands and the Hierophant here. But the Four of Wands may be the task that we're wanting, or may come up, may not be one that may feel like celebration there, Capricorn. And that's what your reading has felt like. It's going to be one where there's going to be some dissonance. There's going to be something where I feel you're going to be tested with the devil being here. Some things that, have we really gotten over some stuff? There may be some new things that may come up to the mix. But I feel it's remembering with the Queen of Cups that you've gone through these experiences, reflecting on what has happened, and making sure to take the time to self-care, to again find that balance of energies between where we show up for others and where we show up for ourselves. You know, and this is interesting, this Six of Pentacles. This is the moon in Taurus. The moon is exalted in Taurus, and you actually have the moon here, the High Priestess, and Taurus. So, and I love this here, you and your ruler are here. So, you know, Capricorn, I just feel like in these tests and in these trials, it may, in the micro, it may not make sense, but in the macro, all of that comes into balance. This temperance energy here, the growth all makes it worth it. But there is this energy of faith here that's coming through, and it's not just, I'm just not just talking religious faith in oneself. You know, that you have the power in your higher self there, Capricorn. But again, however this resonates, but believing that you can do this and keeping hope with the Star card. Again, that balance is always going to be restored. The universe doesn't just throw stuff at you just to keep you down there, Capricorn, and just, you know, to mock you. It's there to push you because it knows, and that's what Saturn is all about. Saturn makes these demands, and he gets looked at as a bad guy just because it's like, what? I want you to live your best life. I want you to be, you told me you have these lofty dreams. Let's do it. And this is the work that comes through with it, you know? So, a very interesting energy, Capricorn. And let's talk about this last one here, which is Pluto. Because we're going to be talking about this one for a while there, Cap, because Pluto's going to enter into... He's going to do one more retrograde back into your sign around, I want to say it's around September. I got to double check on that. But Pluto in Aquarius is going to be a very, very transformative one, of course. This is going to be a test for, I feel people are going to be more kind of put out there, Capricorn. I feel this is going to be, and when I say put out there, I feel that we're going to feel more compelled to get involved in our society more, to connect again, to remember that there is power in community, to understand our place, and to welcome the fact that there are two captains, that there can be strong personalities, that we can have two very different agreements or different positions and still respect each other. You know, this is Pluto's getting out of that, like I was saying, that hierarchical energy of Capricorn and moving into a more societal energy with Aquarius. And this, I feel like, is getting into a place of where all types of people are going through this sort of initiation as far as like who you are in the collective. Have you been just folding in, gone with the trends? Have you lost the sense of individuality? Or are we on the opposite end of that, the extreme where we're forcing our views, forcing our beliefs and things on others, and we're not allowing that fluidity of thought, that acceptance of diversity that Aquarius brings as well? So it's a very, it can be difficult trying to find how you fit in that wild world out there, Capricorn. But I feel that it's in this energy, this Pluto and Aquarius for you can be one of this reinforcement that at the end of the day, it really does just matter what you think. And this is, again, it's not we're being disrespectful towards others or anything along those lines, but it's just a more so feeling not threatened in who you are, allowing more space for others to be is very, very fascinating for you. I feel there, Capricorn. And of course, this is just kind of where the energies are at right now. That's kind of how I feel this relationship is kind of is working with you there. And but let's get your last oracle card on this, Capricorn. And it's very interesting, Capricorn. I'm even just noticing these oppositions that are happening with these signs: Taurus and Scorpio, Aquarius and Leo. They're very interesting here. A lot of like kind of integration. I feel it's kind of you're needing to happen here, Capricorn. Maybe some opposing views that when you take the best of both worlds, wonderful things happen. But thank you, higher self. But I like this. Oh, interesting there, Capricorn. So you have the Vengeance card here, which is a card of overcoming slights and a choice. And that's basically so for some, that's kind of what I was talking about with this Pluto and Aquarius. If there are those who are trying to maybe I almost feel like there are those who are really kind of challenging who you are, and I feel like it's one thing if we're having a very constructive conversation and there's this level of respect that's being had. We're all giving each other this space. We're being mindful of our language. We're not bending to who we are, but we are. It's a very different type of dialogue. I was just talking with someone about a topic that I normally am not. I have a pretty solid stance on where I'm at with it. But I enjoyed the way that this person talked about this thing, and where I still stand where I stand, I was just like, it's fascinating to hear someone approach it like that. Like I thought that was very mindful, even considering the topic. And it was just like, huh. So, we do have a choice, Capricorn, in how we can meet each other. And with Saturn being in Pisces too, not that you didn't already have empathy there, Capricorn, but you really can be very disciplined with that. Putting yourself in other people's shoes, understanding that just like you, they're going through challenges. This may be a particularly tough journey that they're going through this go around. That's not to justify what they're doing, but we can overcome their slights. We don't have to dip into that vibration. They're going through this journey, and if we show that we're not, and in that overcoming slights, that is a test towards us as well, and not one where we're being critical of ourselves, but one where we're learning, one where we're seeing that. I was just telling someone the other day, they were telling me something that I was getting their opinion on a situation, and they said something to me. They brought up a point because I hadn't really taken the time to meditate on it, and they brought up a point, and I got a little heated about it. And they were like, "Oh, I didn't mean to make you feel like that." And I was like, "No, you didn't make me feel like anything." One thing I've learned, or one thing I've been really trying to take ownership of is no one can make me feel any type of way. I can have a reaction, then I can choose where I go about it going forward. And I've told some people this, where we'll have disagreements where I'm like, you know what? I appreciate what you've said. I understand and blah, 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 but I'm still feeling this way. And that's a me thing. This is not a you thing. So I'm going to take a beat on that. I'm going to get myself together, and then we're going to continue from this. But there is a change, there's a mindfulness when you do have, when you've made these choices here, Capricorn, and it seems like that's been, Let's get your last tarot cards here, Capricorn. Alright. Thank you, yourself. Last little bit here. Alright, so you have the Three of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Then you have the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Swords upright here, Cap. And let's switch back over. Because you know what, Capricorn? It's interesting with this Nine of Swords, because I feel that this is one where normally this can be like a card of anxiety, fears, things, but I feel like this is you when we decide to succumb to a slight. It happens. I'm not saying, you're not going to walk around like this Hierophant, all woke, making these decisions. That's the goal, of course, to show this compassion, to understand that goal. But I feel there are going to be times where it's just like when you give it space, of course, but it's just like when you get caught up in something and you feel yourself being like really kind of upset on a certain thought or things that you bring with you, because this person is like have a thought, they're in their bed and they're still not able to quiet their mind. I feel that this Knight of Swords is not whipping past that. To really kind of take a moment and seeing how that is affecting your environment. That's a side that we may need to get eyes on there, that we need to get a game plan around, because when you take that energy around you, it just affects your vibration, and then that vibration can affect your space, and then it's weird how that energy can accumulate until we start switching things around and doing that healing here with this and that growing with the Three of Swords. But I feel it's understanding too that everybody here is growing, is healing, is processing, and it's gonna feel. I feel like it's gonna get easier. As I'm being hopeful as far as when we start, as we start working together as a soul tribe, and however we get to that energy through astrology, through medicine, wherever path we're walking on, we're making space for it. We're overcoming slights. We're making a choice to be our better selves there, come into a more tactful and secure type of energy. I'm thinking the Nine of Pentacles, I even just changed my posture a little bit. That's your pre-Empress energy. This is Venus in Virgo. We're really focusing on embodying that Venusian qualities there, at least in that energy of allowing that reciprocity, that fairness, that equal footing, that what's the word I'm looking for? The compromise, where both parties are winning and making and giving up something, and all parties are fair and balanced. So, and Libra made it wasn't staying, but when I hit my hand knocked over there, I remember catching a little glimpse of Libra. So, just a little thing there. But I think I'm gonna leave that there, Capricorn. A little something to think about, but if you like that, Cap, or if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Capricorn, because again, I feel like this could be one where you are doing some alchemy here. You're whipping up some things, but there are going to be these obstacles along the way. There are going to be some stuff where there may not be some team players, where we may need to, or they're just not your team players, and that is something too. It's like we're not there's be mindful of this ownership, but it is. Yeah, I feel like just showing up in a different way and allowing others to make space for other people's journeys and to, again, to allow mistakes, as it makes sense there, Capricorn. But then you subscribe there, you devil. Hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each week. And then last little bit there, Capricorn, if you're curious about how these energies are working out in your chart, how this stuff may translate, like I was saying before, come book a reading with me. We can talk about this stuff. Maybe you do have some focuses on 7th house matters, or maybe Mars plays a big factor in your, maybe forming a lot of aspects to planets, or in a lot of conversations with planets, or maybe you have a stellium in Capricorn. I have one in Leo. But however this is looking, yeah, check that all stuff out. Is down in the description box below there, Capricorn. And I'm gonna start doing I'm gonna start doing more specific ones. I'll have like monthly ones, yearly ones, and even like a package one where it's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna redo some things. So pay attention to that there, Capricorn, things. So prices will be kind of changing up here soon. So, and then after we're done checking your chart there, Capricorn, maybe we came across a little Cancer in your place. Maybe you have your moon in Cancer there. I actually know someone who's a Capricorn sun and their moon's in Cancer. That's very fascinating. And yeah, come over to my other channel, The Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there, the occasional weekend, depending. We got some special event going on there. And if you just want to know about lunar shenanigans there, Capricorn, I talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void of course, and when we have either a new moon, a first quarter, last quarter, or full moon, I go into depth about that chart, what aspects I feel are kind of important to pay attention to, and all that fun stuff there, Capricorn. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, Cap, so I can get you out of here. And I like this. You got the 9 of Cups here. We had started off with that 10 of Cups. And so now I feel that, you've done this evaluating, you're making these choices. Do you feel in your vibration? Do you feel like you're trusting in the process, that we're connecting with that side of you that is all-knowing, that knows the way, whatever you call that, instinct, your gut, your whatever that is. And just, yeah, if you're feeling this resonance, I feel like follow that path, Capricorn. But if there's something that's feeling off, that's a time I feel like to pause. Maybe there's some secrets that are trying to be exposed there. Maybe there's some things where we may need some teamwork on that, even, where it's maybe something where there are some things that we, as Capricorn energy needs to find solidarity in. But sometimes it's nice to have a sounding board every now and again when we're feeling particularly stumped, bringing in a fresh perspective. But, let's get this, see what this last oracle card here is, Capricorn. All right, Cap. Take yourself. Interesting. Who else got this? I think Taurus got this. So you have the Equinox card here, Capricorn. So clearly, the Equinox is an important energy for you here, and probably, well, honestly, both of the equinoxes are. It affects both, you, and if you happen to have any Cancerian frequencies, and then it also affects. If you have fire placements, that Aries energy is going to affect those fire placements, air placements if it's Libra. But, if you have just Capricorn or any cardinals in your main 3, sun, moon, rising, this is something to pay attention to. Kind of mark these times. Pay attention, like, are Aries times ones that I do well in, or are they times that I need to kind of be mindful of my energies? Where is the focus? What's different from this last year? Maybe I can tackle something a bit more efficiently, or whatever that's looking like. Even though Capricorn is opposing a lot of my, some of my, like my sun placement and stuff. I'm used to Capricorn oppositions. My North Node and my Neptune are there. So I do fine in Capricorn season. It really, and that's another thing too. You can see how certain energies may not affect you as much as, let's say, like, like for example, Mercury retrograde. You may see people going off the wall, but you're like, what's happening? You may have Mercury retrograde in your chart, or there's something where it's just like there's certain things, or maybe an energy that you're used to, that's in that. It's really cool. So pay attention to how your energies are balanced, because you got a lot of energies of balance. And the equinox is when there is equal day and night, and so I feel that the equality is a big thing here for you, Capricorn. And I feel like first and foremost, make sure that internally we're feeling balanced. We're feeling in tone, because then that's what we're going to see reflected outside of ourselves, Capricorn. Or at least these energies are trying to balance. But, all right, you stay safe out there, Cap. A lot of this energy here. I like this energy. This was really cool, Capricorn. A lot of growth here. You raise your vibration to the roof. Keep up the great work there, Capricorn. I think I kept you long enough. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.